Welcome everyone. It is December 12th, 2022. It is Monday, and I am a bit sick, as you can probably tell. Now, again, this is gonna be a thing where, every winter I get sick pretty easily, so, you know, take it with patience. But I'm just gonna work and see how long I can last. Uh, I've been working for an hour already on a different piece that I was like really pumped to do. It's just that the idea that I had felt much better than what is currently being done, which is fine. Usually, what we have in mind is much better than what we end up doing. Wait, this song is from where? Oh, Fire Emblem. Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right. So, I hope everyone had a good weekend. Oh, I forgot what I used to render. Like, would something like this be enough? This line right here is a bit weird. I think I'm just gonna cover it up. Uh, but skin is pretty soft, right? Like, we can... Sorry. Oh, Jesus. My... My throat and my nose are killing me today. I apologize for that. Happened yesterday, too. Like, I just woke up with a sore throat and a stuffed nose. But yeah, this week I'm gonna be extremely busy. I'm gonna see Avatar: The Way of Water. I'm gonna sorry, I'm gonna be working with kids to make cutout animation, which I think is gonna be very interesting. Because in a sense, right, I am aware of the principles of animation, but they have more experience in cutouts, so I think it would be a good collaboration. Plus, it also contributes a lot for my resume, you know, having done like it is some sort of volunteering in the area, right? So that is something. Might not be a lot, but it's already something, you know, which can greatly help me. I think I might do something like this for the... Well, technically no, right? It would be something like this, I think. The biggest problem is that I'm not communicating shape as much. I'm treating the arms as if they were cylindrical, which is not good, but yeah. I think I'll leave that sharp edge there. I don't know why, it just feels natural. I don't have a key line for the blur. This sounds like Pokemon, like water themed. Abandoned lot of dreams. Okay, I think it's not water, but it's Pokemon. Let me just blow my nose. And I'm back. Let me just check something real quick. When was the last time? December 7th, so 5 days ago. Alright, so the last time that I tweeted a work was 5 days ago. Huh. Interesting. By the way, the tweet is legit. Like, I really forgot about posting the works. And it just goes to show, like, I just really enjoy making pictures. You know? It's that, what is the word that I'm looking for here? Like that disconnect, right? For people to know my work, I need to post. And when I post, it doesn't have a lot of reach. But either way, I still do the pictures, you know, and I want them to be noticed, but I don't know. It's just weird. It's just weird. The major problem with doing the arm like this is that it loses all its texture, unfortunately. Also, I've been watching Inazuma 11 go Chronostone. I know this is really like out there, but it's like I've been noticing how dark the themes of that specific season are. Right? The other day I was thinking about it and I was like, that shit is really dark, and I didn't even realize when I was seeing it. Like, god damn, we have what? A kid that is born with the mother pretty much dies while giving birth. So the kid grows without a mother, which, it's it's not a good thing, but a lot of people go through that. But what is most impressive is that that season has time travel, right? And the mother ends up being a part of the team so that she can actually spend some time with her kid. But the mother is in kid form as well, like at kid age. So it's this really weird time thing where the mother got to know her son when she was a child, and she knew that the moment she would give birth, she would die. That is holy. I don't know if they let her live at the end of the season. Like if they correct the events, or if they just let it happen. But it is dark. It is really dark. Holy. And there's a lot of other stuff as well. Like right at the beginning, there are these brothers where there was an accident and one of them was in a wheelchair. And right at the beginning, we go into a parallel timeline where the positions are switched, and so the one that was in a wheelchair is fine, and the one that is fine is in a wheelchair, right? And because it's like a temporary timeline, the one that is fine now is aware that it isn't supposed to be like that, right? And has to sacrifice himself. It's like, that is harsh for a kids show, right? It deals with a lot more mature topics than I was expecting. But overall, like, I'd say the Chronostone is my favorite, even though like they spend a lot of time with the transformations and stuff like that. The thing about the animation of that is that they probably save a lot of money with the transformations themselves because they eat up a lot of time from the episodes. Because like when it comes to the transformations, they can even save a lot of time from season 1. Because there are some parts that are the same. I'm just seeing what sticks here. Line art. Yeah, so we obviously can tell that I don't understand what I'm doing with the skin shading. That's okay. See, I'm looking at Twitter right now, and I don't understand, like, 23 followers. I've been gaining followers just from engaging in random comments, just commenting things. I'm not even making like actual tweets. I'm just Oh shit. Xenoblade Chronicles 2. This is a good song. Let's put some. Jeez. Right. We do something like that. So just kind of. Like this. Yeah, something like that. I don't know. Skin in the belly as well. Sorry about that. Also, I don't know if I'm recording. I'm not recording the time lapse. That is okay. But now that I have a smaller canvas, I should probably like invest in that again. Yeah. Lately, I've been thinking that I should go like more balls to the walls when painting. I don't do a lot of decisions. I just like hope that tutorials can find the answers for me, and I think that kind of defeats the purpose of it. Not like making critical thinking here, not learning anything. And I think that's why kind of fail in that regard. Up there, because it's close. Yeah, I shouldn't have blended immediately. I should have waited a little bit. That's okay. I forget about my own shortcuts. Sorry. There it is. making things really complicated. Wait. This song is from Animal Crossing. Oh, I didn't know that. I mean, I've heard a version of it, but I didn't know it came from Animal Crossing. A banger. Oh damn. Key change. Yeah. Slightly funky. Here, and the jacket is supposed to be in the front, so we're gonna make it light darker there. Yeah, for the skin, I'm just gonna like make him out of porcelain pretty much. Like I could give him abs, but he works, doesn't it? I think so. Yeah. My god, the difference. Ugh. I'm learning a lot from this one, actually. I was a bit skeptical about it, but I'm learning a lot. So from here, I need... What do I need? I need like a textured brush. What am I looking for here? No. This isn't that bad, I think. I think I'm gonna use this one. just giving it some color here, so I can make the gloves a little bit more interesting. Yeah, that a huge transition. Yes. I just saw something really funny. People that wanna sell their AI generated works, but they are too embarrassed to admit that it was AI generated. You know? They're kind of like uh, counter arguing themselves without even realizing it. Like, if you don't want to admit that it's AI generated, it's because you're ashamed of it. And if you're ashamed of it, it just means that you know it's bad. Also, where the fuck is the thumb supposed to be here? Shouldn't the thumb be in the front? Like, if you're really proud of whatever you're doing in AI, you shouldn't have any trouble admitting that it's AI, right? But for some reason, these people are very reluctant on it, and don't want to admit it. Because they know. Like, it's all about intellectual honesty, to be completely true here, right? Like, I feel we are all very trapped into this rat race of making money. Because that's like a sign of worth, apparently. And the ones that don't have it need to make money, and those that have it, for some reason, feel the need to make even more money. And yeah, it's like a vicious cycle, you know. And it kind of saddens me, because then you have this sort of situations. I've said this in previous streams. I don't know if it was the last stream, but I've said this before, right? When you try to, you, how can I say this? The work, right? People's works, or people's work in general, makes it so that we have to be efficient in what we're doing. But I think people are forgetting to turn off that efficiency mode when they get home. It's like entertainment is not to be mass produced. It's like an artist does have to eat, but the main goal of an artist is not to make money. Obviously, when you're starting out, you're gonna need to make money. But it's like an artist that truly enjoys making art will not stop just because he's a millionaire. He or she, they, in this case. Right? They're not gonna stop because they're millionaires. They can be millionaires and still continue to do art. They don't do it because they have to anymore. Right? It's because they want to communicate. And it doesn't need to be like anything super meaningful, you know? Sometimes it's a personal thing to communicate. Some artists do like more comfort work, and they like just do work about animals that they like, for instance. Which is completely fine, you know? Gotta make sure I don't exaggerate too much on the contrast. But overall, this looks good. I like the glove like that. Right? Because if I erase the line art, yeah, it's pretty good. I'm actually already very proud of this piece. Also the way that I did the contour there. I never paid a lot of attention to the gloves. I mean, it's hard to see the interior, so... yeah, whatever. Let me just... oops. So, yeah. Honestly, my arguments for AI is just... when photography showed up, portraiture didn't disappear. Right? It was just interpreted as a different thing. A different experience, right? It's like if you want the function of recording your likeness, a photography does that quickly, right? But if you want that touch of like uniqueness, right? Because cameras are fairly similar in their interpretation, where people have this variation in the styles of what they do. You know, that's more interesting. To a certain extent, it's almost like a slightly impressionistic work. Or impressionistic, what the hell is that? But yeah, slightly impressionist work. Where if you look really closely, the elements of the photograph and the painted portrait start to be different, right? But it's kind of hard to justify it to people that only see the use of a certain art form. And that's one of the harshest lessons in the art field. I remember one of the hardest questions to answer in art school, like it was posed almost immediately, which was, what is the function of art, right? And it took a long time for the teacher to actually explain that no matter what function you come up with, there's always artworks that are outside of that function. And that was actually an explanation as to why art is so weird nowadays. Or at least some art pieces are so weird. Because they're like walking on that edge. You know, you define a function and then there will be like a counter movement to it just to deny that function from art. So it's like, oh, art is supposed to represent things accurately. Things start to get represented inaccurately, right? And it's still considered art. And then it's like, oh, at least it represents things. Boom, abstract art, right? It's like, oh, at least it has some order. And eventually you have like abstract art that is all over the place. And you know that's like a good explanation for what happened, you know. I shouldn't be using this one for... I should be using something like this. Right. I think it's interesting to make this brown here. Right? Something like this. Oh no, that's dragging the red. I don't want that. What is happening here? What the fuck? What? There's something painted here. What? Huh. Okay, let's check. Oh my god. It is so good. Alert. Okay, I'm gonna work on this one now. I think this also can use like... What is this? Hard flat. Oh, it's like that. Huh. Not that interested. Chalk. Would be interested if it wasn't square. Like, something like this, yeah. Okay, now it's just a question of hard edges. Okay. So if I posted Lisa, that means I have Kaya and Diluc to post. So Razor should be out by next week, by the end of next week, right? Something like that. That's cool. Albeit I took like a few weeks to get this out. I've also finished the sketches for the commission, so that's fun. So I can finally start like working into rendering it in different styles. I can't exaggerate too much on the contrast, but I'll leave it like that, I guess. Also, it's been raining a lot here, so anyone either in raining season or northern hemisphere, be safe out there, please. Dude, my entire country is like... There's like this color alert. In orange is the worst one. Before a catastrophe, orange is the worst one. And like almost the entire country is in orange alert, so... You can hear the rain, I apologize. Also, today is mandatory that I take a break because I also need to check if everything is okay. It probably is, but you never know. Like, I've talked about this. It was a few years ago when we had, like, construction in our street and everything. But, you know, better safe than sorry. I mean, in this case, it wouldn't be safe, but I still, you know, have to deal with it. But at least I'd have more time to protect stuff. Also, if the stream goes out, it might be because of the storm. So. Calling it a storm, I think, might be a stretch, but you get what I mean. Working without line art now. I'm thinking there's like this now. Chalk isn't the bad texture, but I like the sampled, right? Sampled, yeah. I like this one, so I'm gonna use it. And just like this. Okay. Damn it, it has some width variation to it. So it gets complicated to use it. Okay. Like that. Okay. It looks more or less okay. God damn it. Just gonna take care of the nose again. I'm back. Just making sure my blanket doesn't make me get cold. All right. think it's more like this. I mean, this and this is pretty much the same color, so doesn't really matter which one I pick. But I did forget to add more of these, so I gotta do that now. Okay, you can't hear the rain, but I can hear it. Goddamn. Through 2 closed doors in headphones, I can still hear the rain. Well, technically speaking, 3 closed doors. Or... It sounds like Genshin. What is this? Hilda's Despair, The Legend of Zelda: Link Between Worlds. Huh. Like it's eerily similar to... Or Genshin's music is eerily similar to this. That is interesting. Just gonna soothe this texture a little bit. Because like, I like it, but it might be a little bit too aggressive. Man, that's so cool. Just checking something. Okay, now just make this a little bit darker. We'll eventually need to fix that. But that's why I chose the... I'm gonna call it... It's poncho, right? The word. It's not a poncho, but you get what I mean. Like, I chose it first so that I can color it, and then I can color the jacket on top. I really like this. I'm really, really proud of this one. Holy shit. Also, like, I kind of apologize for, you know, repeating that I'm proud. It's just that it's words of affirmation, you know? It's pretty much me talking to myself. It's just that because I'm streaming, it just feels like I'm boasting about it. Like, don't worry, I know that there's still a lot for me to improve on. I'm aware of that. It's just words to keep me going, you know? Because I have friends who believe in me, but I'm also surrounded by an environment that casts a lot of doubt into what I'm doing. And it comes from a good place. They're worried about the stability of being an artist. Which makes sense, you know, it's a very unstable line of work. But if I'm constantly doubting myself as just, you know, going down for no reason, and then it's harder to pick myself up. So these words of me being proud of the work is just me picking myself up, you know? I'm gonna do something like this to emulate clothing folds. Yeah. You're an artist out there, even a beginner. As long as you want to create stuff, you know, and stay true to it, even if you're doing something else as a means to survive, you know, I think you'll make it. Just gotta stay honest. Stay honest with your work and what you want to communicate. Most people can sniff that honesty. dark, right? Oh, no. No, no, no. Barely any contrast. Oh, itchy. Hmm. Okay. Now wait. Like so. So this is the lightest color. See. But I'm like starting to get focused, but I also understand that it goes a bit against the quality of the stream because I stopped talking. God damn it. I'm gonna darken it a little bit. Here. Just to make it pop a little bit more. Like, I get it. Oh. I like the way it looks. It's a bit different from the actual pieces, but I like it. Might just smooth it out a little bit, but overall, looks okay. What else? We work on here. Not that important, for being completely honest. Right. I have to kind of like embrace this thing of being more painterly with things. It's definitely more interesting. Definitely. Ugh. So here. I just had a thought occurring to me. The same way that there was something missing there, right? I'm pretty sure, like, amateurs like me will have these sort of mistakes. And people will look at it, and because it looks really weird, right? They might assume that the artwork is AI made. Oh man, if that happens, I'm gonna hate myself. I think I'm gonna leave the jacket for last, because it's the most intricate pattern. Ooh, okay. That is interesting. That is interesting. Alright. Very, very interesting. Sorry. Just gonna take care of my nose. Oh my god, it happened what I was fearing. I was this entire time talking, and I think the microphone wasn't capturing. Basically, I was saying that I'm gonna take a break. I'm so sorry for this, but yeah, I was saying that I'm gonna take a break. It's gonna be around 10 to 15 minutes. Anyone that is live, uh, you know, if you can stay and watching all the VODs, just skim the timeline until I come back. All right? Yeah. See you soon. Hey people. Or at least I hope you're still there. And what do you mean he's still not back? I didn't take that long. I said I was gonna take 10 to 15 minutes. Things are complicated here, but luckily everything is okay. Ah. Heat it up. Water, and now I can have warm feet while working. Ah. Jesus Christ, man. Yeah. 15 minutes is forever. Yeah, you know what's also forever? Working for 2 hours and a half straight. So I deserve those 15 minutes. And by the way, I don't even know if it was 15 minutes. So, alright. It's there. Let me just get my glasses. But yeah, I mean, worse than 15 minutes of break for 2 hours and a half is like the full-time job that I had. It was like 5 hours straight, 1 hour of pause, and then 3 hours straight. That was fun. Yeah, yeah. Look, pauses are part of the work, alright? If you don't take pauses, you're just sacrificing your attention span, really. Because you think you're using your time, but it's like, nah, dude, you're completely distracted, not focused at all. Also, as you can see, the line art is disabled. So this is pretty much already without any line art. Which I think it is really good. I think I'll leave it like painterly, like this. I enjoy it. There's obviously like a few things that I still need to study in order to comprehend. I say a few, there's a lot of things that I need to study. But yeah. How was your weekend? Chill as usual. Good, good. Are you not having like heavy rain in Australia? Because we are having exceptionally heavy rain here, and everyone is like really worried. Mm. See. Oh my god. I just say, like, this color feels different than this color, right? This one feels darker than this one, but it's not. Ah, my brain. It hurts. Even with the saturation, it feels different. The power of contrast. I'm still struggling with color in most pieces. Yeah, that's completely normal. Color is a very complex subject. And for a lot of people, it's like the most intimidating. There's a lot of choices that you can make in color. You know, when you're learning the fundamentals, you learn a certain algorithm to paint, but there are a lot of people that go against that current and choose colors in a different way. You know, like for instance, stylized things like this green reflection in a red eye, right? Like it's barely noticeable like this, but if I was to make a piece just like this, right? Slightly noticeable. Brings out the contrast. Guides the eye. And you know, there are people that push certain elements to the background by covering them up with a little bit of blue in digital. In traditional, it's just like desaturating it a little bit with blue. But that doesn't need to necessarily be the case. And I find that to be very interesting. Mm. So the belt. Belt. It's really obvious now. Yeah, because for all intents and purposes, the color of air is blue, right? The thing is, it's more obvious for the water what color normal water is because it's very dense. But for air is not so intuitive, right? We think that the sky is blue, like that cyan blue, and we think that it's a sort of layer behind air, but it's the actual air, right? It's the refraction of the light in the air, in the atmosphere, and things like that, that makes the blue. Therefore, the further you go, the more intense that blue starts to get. So if you're somewhere where you can look towards mountains very far away, right? Everything starts to blend into the blue of the air. Right? Eventually you can't even distinguish it, so things I mean you also have the curvature of the earth, so you will stop seeing them. But if you didn't, everything would just fade away into the blue of the air, which we call the blue of the sky. That's things like it's a very, very um faint color the air, right? So we just simplify and call it transparent. But I reckon that there's like nothing that doesn't have a color. They're bound to, like, with enough concentration, they're bound to have some color to it, right? It's kind of like that weird thing where the chemical that is used for mirrors to actually reflect have those reflective properties, the chemical is green, right? But it takes a few layers of intensity to actually be able to see the greenish tint. Local color, yeah, yeah. Local, like, understanding local color is important because if you have for instance, understanding how local color works and how projected color works is important, right? The light sources, if they're colored, can have an influence over how they're reflected. For instance, a purely red object will not reflect blue light. It will absorb that light. I mean, if the light is purely blue, obviously. But it will absorb that light, and so it will appear very dark. There was actually, I had a few colleagues in college that did experiments with that, where there would be like overlapped drawings, each drawing with a different color, and then there would be like an LED strip that would emit different colors at different times. And so with time you would eventually like start to see one drawing fade into the other, all in the same sheet of paper. It was really cool. So it was almost like you were muting parts of the drawing and bringing out other parts. Yeah. It's basically like an assignment where we had to learn how colors work and things like that. Let me see. Yellow cube, refracted light on white sphere. Yellow cube, white sphere, and a blue light source. Blue, red, and yellow cubes under a yellow lamp. Yeah, the yellow lamp makes sense because it's not like purely yellow, it's more of an orange. So the red still reflects a lot of it. Blue, red, and yellow cubes under a red lamp. Yeah, the red is like very pure. But yeah. Blue, red, and yellow cubes under a blue lamp, and like the red goes completely dark. Yeah, that's really cool. Yeah. Yeah, I remember in the developing rooms for photography, we had to use a special red lamp that didn't interact with the chemicals on the photographic paper, right? It has to not burn it through exposure. And it was weird because that red would be reflected by very little things. So I could barely see anything in that room. Yeah, and if you have like, I'm gonna open a different one. It's hard to explain this with words, but it's like if you have an object, right, and you have a red light here, and you have a blue light here, what's gonna happen is that all of this space, like all of this space is exposed to red light, but there will be a shadow here where red light doesn't shine, right? And all of this space right here is exposed to blue light, but here there's a shadow from the blue light. So what's gonna happen is, if you have absence of blue light, like the two spaces will have a mixture, right? And they will be exposed to basically this sort of purplish, warm purplish tone. But you have an absence of red, so here it becomes a blue shadow, and here you have an absence of blue, and it becomes a red shadow. Which is really interesting. And I basically did a work like this, where it was like, we had like a circle, and I just put these thingies like this, right? And another circle here. And I closed them, and I had like two lights like this, and I could rotate them, and so the shadows would also rotate, and you would see like the red and the blue shadows move, and it was super trippy. But yeah, you can pretty much, in our mind, we have this idea that shadows are black, right? Or tend to go to black, but that's not necessarily the truth. A little blender, learning a little blender for creating lighting scenarios like this. Yeah, like I know that a lot of professional illustrators use Blender to figure out like how the lighting of that scenario works. Also, I should remove this. How the lighting of the scenario works, and then they use it as a guideline to just know how to light everything, and they focus more on texture. And then if they need to like exaggerate or something, they do it. Yeah, they do it a lot for perspectives. Because like, it's a lot of work to do perspective by hand in certain scenarios, and it's like professionals need to work smart, not hard. They have already worked hard. They understand the principles, right? Now they need results. So, like, I totally get it, and I would do the same. Yeah. Actually, in the beginning of the year, I didn't stream illustration. I used to stream Blender. Like, I haven't worked on it that much. So like, most of the knowledge that I had, which was considerable actually, but most of the knowledge that I have or had pretty much disappeared. Because I was already like fiddling with shaders and making my own shaders, you know. Still basic stuff, but at least I understood. Like, if I had an idea in my head, I would be able to struggle my way into making it, you know. Also, what the fuck is this? Like this. Yeah, like that. I like it. I'll paint it like this and then I'll fix it like this. Yeah. The brown things behind his boots, pants. It's supposed to be this, but I didn't like these things. I didn't take like much time thinking about it. You know? Just drew them in to not forget that they exist. Yeah, I'm enjoying the process a lot. Feels nice. Like, I really do think this overall looks really cool. I'm gonna make it like this. It's easier to believe. Like that. Yeah. Now metal. I think understanding how color works eventually helps you into adapting into new media. Yeah, that's the plural. Yeah, plural is media. Because like understanding how additive and subtractive colors work teaches you a lot about different media, right? For instance, like light is additive, but for instance, watercolor is subtractive, right? The more layers you put, the darker it gets. Which is actually like a big source of anxiety for me when I was doing a little bit of watercolor. I would do like very, very faint layers of watercolor because I wanted to have like the maximum control over the colors that I produced. But eventually I just learned that if I had a test sheet next to me, I could preview the color that I produced and just go like balls to the walls with it, you know? And that's what I did. And it also saved me a lot of time. Just like you produce a color, you test the color in a spare sheet of paper. It doesn't need to be good or anything because you just need to see the color. And it saves you a ton of time. You are able to see the color that you made. And if you want to use it, you use it. If you don't, you change it. And if you can no longer change it, you know, maybe to desaturate it or something, just, you know, clean it up and make another one. Because that's a thing that a lot of watercolor artists think it's obvious. And, you know, there's people like me. So they need to say that. Yeah. So I was pretty much trying to blend the color that I wanted in the paper itself, which is incredibly inefficient. Like, it's one way of working, sure, but there's no need to do it like that. Like, I knew I had friends that used to make, like, actually blend colors in the canvas when they were painting, like with gouache or acrylic, you know, which is it is a way of doing it, but it's kind of hard. I actually like this brush, the Ink Big 2. Yeah, it's not easy to do that because you need to be careful, like the limitations of the canvas, things like that, because you're gonna be retouching that a lot, right? But yeah, some friends of mine just did that, you know. It's a bit of a different way of doing it, I guess, but oil seems to have an advantage. Yeah, yeah. Also because it doesn't dry that easily, so you can retouch it a lot. I mean, I'd argue that that's also like an important aspect of oil painting. You need to know how to mix already in the canvas, right? Where gouache and acrylic benefit more from mixing before and then painting directly with the color that you produced. Yeah, pretty much. Or wait until the next session to layer over. Yeah. Yeah, it's all about decisions, really. Which is okay. Like those decisions are the heart of art making, right? It's the process. Like, do you choose to manipulate what you already have, or do you want to wait for it to dry so that you can paint over it? You know, things like that. Like, what color do you want to use? What color are you feeling like using there? And things like that. And that is the biggest flaw in AI. Like, AI will make a supposed model, right? Of how an artist paints. But the thing is, that is a misconception because not even the artist itself fully knows how they paint, right? It's a process of discovery. It always has been. And anyone that fools themselves into thinking they can distill that that decision-making process, you know, is really underestimating art. It's a process, it's decisions. And like the decision that you make now is gonna be different from the decision that you make a few days from now, right? It doesn't even need to be weeks or months. Like in a few days, an artist can change a lot, right? And like the way we paint can be influenced by moments in our lives. It can be influenced by books that we read, by movies that we see, and the model cannot compute that at all, right? And to me, what's even more stupid, it's like they don't want to. This fault is twofold, right? It's people that just want to watch an endless torrent of images. Like eventually you'll be desensitized to art, it quote unquote art, right? It's almost like they're trying to speed run something. No, man, take your time. And the other part of the fault is those people that want to be artists but don't want to put in the work. There's some artists that don't look at anyone else's work to maximize originality. The thing is, though, I feel like the artists that don't look at anyone's work are the most susceptible to suffer from slumps, right? Like artist block. And that can be very dangerous because it casts doubt into what we do. Right. I might be projecting, right? I might be projecting, but it's like, man, I do feel a lot of doubts on my work. And looking at other people's works, like, gives me a lot of ideas, you know? They'd have to rely on life experience and using it as inspiration, yeah. It's like, for all intents and purposes, art is always cooperative, right? It just might not be like cooperative between artists, but it's always a byproduct of living. So it doesn't make, at least for me, right, talking about myself, it doesn't make a lot of sense to just shut myself out from the rest of the world. Do something like this. Oh yeah, the sponge is also a good one. The sponge. I completely forgot about this one. I like this one, yeah. See, right now I like have no idea what I'm doing. I think you can tell. But I enjoy it. I enjoy it. Right? And it casts doubt over me. It's like, why don't I have any idea of what I'm doing? Should I have an idea of what I'm doing? Of the decisions that I'm making? Like, should I be more assertive than it feels nice when I take my decisions? You know? Now, these motherfuckers pick up AI, they put like hundreds of prompts, choose what they think is the best prompt, right? Which is incredibly naive, but whatever. And yeah, they go, yeah, my work is done. Yeah. Right? And they're capable of doing this to a point where they no longer remember how to pick up a pencil. It's like, you cannot be serious. It actually reminds me, like, when photography showed up, it took like the function of portraiture, right? And now, I don't know if you have noticed this, but we don't call, like, photographers are artists for all intents and purposes, but we call them photographers. We don't call them artists, right? If you are a photographer and you present yourself, oh, I'm an artist, nobody will think that you take pictures. Nobody. It's like, I'm not saying that's a good or a bad thing. It's just an effect, right? And what fucks me the most is that these people are using AI, right? But it's obvious they don't have the fundamentals. The fundamentals are necessary to make decisions. Like, they're not even capable of counting how many fingers are in the hands of what comes out of the prompts. Right? And so they go like, oh yeah, this face looks good. Well, yeah, the network trained a lot of faces. Obviously, it's gonna look good. Just make a symmetric face that is not fat. It's probably gonna look good. Right? Now, hands. Nobody pays attention to the hands. However, when it comes out of an AI, you can see it. But it does crack me up that the failure of AI is pretty much hands. That's a big motivation for artists to learn how to draw and paint. You know, those beginners that like to hide the hands in the pockets. Well, now you have a reason to learn how to draw hands. If you do, you're better than an AI. Oh, thank you. opacity. That's not a texture. Ooh, that's a lot of texture. It feels like clouds. Watercolor brush. This feels interesting. Oh yeah, I need to like. I don't remember what I used there. Huh. Yeah, like want to be better than an AI? Just learn how to paint hands. Legit, that's literally all we need to do. We learn how to paint ants, we're better than an AI. I used where is it? Wait. Where is it? Oh man, I'm very confused now. Wait, wasn't it up there? What? Oh, I was already, of course, I was already with the brush. Gotta fix this leg. Just to add a little bit of contrast there. Perhaps a little bit here as well. Yeah. I think the idea of feeding AI a lot of Disney images is like perfect. Just put a predatory system against another, you know? Then obviously like the large company is gonna win, so yeah. Because like if at least they used models of people that explicitly gave them permission, but they just pick anything that's on the internet. It's like that shit is not the definition of public domain, right? Just because I post an image onto Twitter doesn't mean that is public. In fact, there have been a lot of court cases because of things like that. And people got into a lot of hot water due to that assumption. It's like, nah, bro. I'm actually pretty close to like finishing this. But I don't think I'm gonna finish it today. I think I'm gonna finish it the next stream. So imagine, I did an estimate of 2 streams. It was actually 3. Yeah, but overall, I don't think it took like that long. So, because most of the streams were like 2 hours, I think. So. Have to fix that. But yeah, I think overall, for today, I'm a bit out of energy for streaming. Like, I'm gonna continue to work, but, you know, when I'm not streaming, I'm pretty much silent, and that allows me to keep going for long periods of time. So, yeah, I'll leave it for today. Let me just save. We did a lot of progress. Actually, I said we were almost there, but I was only looking at this. There's still a jacket. The jacket is gonna take a bit of time. We'll see. Yeah, good effort. Yeah, I want to thank everyone that joined me today live, and anyone that might be watching on the VODs. And tomorrow I'll be back at 9 a.m. GMT +1. So hopefully I'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye.